If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.
So first of all, Happy New Year for everyone. So from last 2 weeks, I was out of office, so I couldn't schedule any Clubhouse meeting. So here in US, it's long holiday weeks for Christmas and New Year. So just now, everybody resumed to their work. So thought of scheduling the first Clubhouse meet in 2022. And I have some news from my side. So I joined Salesforce 3 months ago. So I have not updated my LinkedIn resume from past 3 months because I want to take some time and I want to give it a shot. Then thought of updating the LinkedIn and other public profiles. So after joining Salesforce, yes, I really liked it. So that's why I updated last week in my LinkedIn. So this session will help you in preparing the interviews for the top companies. So I'm going to share my experiences, how I prepared, and how I failed for the previous interviews with the top tech companies, and what kind of questions you can expect, what kind of skill set you can learn, and how to approach, how to prepare resume. So everything we can discuss. All the aspects of the getting a job in top tech companies. So how many of you are looking for a job now? So could you please raise your hand? I just want to get some ground level reality in India job market. So how many of you are looking into a job? Please raise your hand so that I can admit to the stage. Okay, I'm admitting few folks. Hi Sai, thanks for joining.
Yeah, hi Naveen. Good
Hi,
morning.
hi Sai. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, Naveen. So coming to myself, so I'm working as a like a functional tester, mix of like API and functional tester. So currently I'm in the I'm done with the learning the JMeter. So I'm exploring and I'm going through your videos in the YouTube. So and I'm learning for the load runner and I'm parallelly I'm giving the interviews for the performance testing position. So with the 3 years of experience.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Sai, for sharing your current status. Yeah, we can discuss. So I'm planning to divide into multiple based on the experiences, right? So 3 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. So like that, I've thought of planning, sharing the inputs. Yeah, we will discuss based on your profile. We can discuss how to prepare that. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
Hi there. Thanks for joining.
Hi Nabeen, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you. Yeah,
And
please share.
congratulations on your new job.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav.
Yeah, actually, I can you please share how did you apply, and then what were the modes of interview? How many
Yes,
rounds were there?
sure.
Those things
Yeah.
will be beneficial for us. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'm planning to share everything, whatever I come across. I'm going to share my whole experience. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Nabeen.
So I started looking for a job almost 8 months ago, actually, 8 to 10 months ago, in early 2021. So I started as a manual tester, like everybody else, most of us, in Infosys. Then from manual testing, I moved to test automation. So after 1 year, I moved to test automation, and from test automation, I was an engineer for about 2 years. Then I moved to performance testing. So it is an accident. So it is not everything planned actually. So suddenly some project comes up, and they gave the training, and then I just get into the performance testing project back in 2009 actually. So from there, my journey begins, and since then, I'm just into performance testing projects only. So I never moved to automation or manual testing. So here and there, I do some ad hoc testing, beta testing, those things, but primarily into performance testing. So then I moved to Kaplan in New York. So I was working very short stint since New York is very expensive. I couldn't afford there to live. So I made a decision. Okay, let me move to the state where the low living cost, right? So that's why I moved to Ohio, so Cincinnati. So in Cincinnati, I was working for a client. It's a small firm, Ascendum Solutions. Ascendum is there in India as well. So I was there working for 2.5 years. Then thought of actually from past 5 to 6 years, I was an a vision to get into some top tech companies like everybody else. So I started applying almost all the top tech companies. Most of them I flunked actually. So reality is 9 out of 10 interviews I failed. So that's the reality. So these interviews purely coding interviews. So I failed only in coding interview. Apart from coding, there were interview especially for QA aspects, QA process, QA methodologies, and again performance testing process, performance test scripting. So everything I was able to clear it properly. But 9 out of 10 interviews with Apple, with Amazon, and then Facebook, and what else? Citibank and Visa. So these companies, actually Citi and Visa, I already cleared all the rounds, but unfortunately, I didn't get any positive feedback. So I couldn't get a job there. But apart from these, I applied Amazon multiple times. So Amazon again, 2 rounds I clear, final round or fourth round I will fail. So it was on and off with Amazon. And again, Microsoft also, I applied, but there were no open positions for the performance engineers. So like this, wherever I go, it was like a negative experience. So daily, what I was doing, I opened job sites. I started applying at least 5 to 10 jobs, and then I just go to my work. So this is what I was doing from past 8 to 10 months. Daily 5 to 10 profiles. I just see I'll apply. And before Salesforce, I got few other offers as well, but I couldn't go with that because of various reasons. I had at least I think 2 to 3 offers were there. So including there were around 5 rounds. I don't want to say the company name, but it was like 5 rounds. I cleared every round, and I got the final offer. Not officially, verbally. Then I couldn't go for with that. So then I got the Salesforce opportunity. Then I just took it. So I just put a disclaimer here. So these, whatever I'm going to say, it is not with the employer. Okay, it is up to my personal views only. Okay, personal view and personal opinions. So I want to just put a disclaimer on this. So this Salesforce process is 5 rounds, four technical, four rounds pure technical, 4 rounds has coding questions. So none of the rounds has nothing to do with only the concepts or architecture, not theoretical. Every round has a coding, with coding pair programming basically, and fifth round is with engineering manager. So this is the process in Salesforce for almost all the jobs. So even if you're applying for a senior software engineer, the process would be the same. And even if you're applying for an architect role, principal role, then the same process will be applying with the Salesforce. So Salesforce, again, they have multiple products. So Salesforce means not just CRM. So they have multiple products, as you know, right? So they have Slack, they have Tableau, and then they acquired multiple products. So you will not know so which product you are going to work for, unless they specified in the job description. Only after the interview or during the interview you can ask what kind of a product you will be in. So you have to just focus on the description, job description, and the roles and responsibilities. So this will help you in preparing. For example, if you are going for Tableau, then you can learn more about data, right? Tableau analysis, visualization. So those aspects you can prepare. If you're going with Slack, you need more engineering skills. So based on the product, you can prepare yourself. I'm talking only with respect to Salesforce company. So what I did from past 6 months, I created an account with HackerRank. So HackerRank has a lot of challenges, right? So they have for all programming languages, you can choose your own line. So I chose Python because Python I have an interest. So I chose Python, and then I started doing the challenges daily 1 hour, just daily 1 hour. Just to go to HackerRank or LeetCode or any website which has the challenge based on your own language. So don't go Python, or don't go C or JavaScript, whichever language you are comfortable, whichever language you like to learn more, just go with that. And spend at least 30 minutes to 1 hour in those sites, and start taking up the only small complexity or easy complexity challenges. Don't go with complex or very high complex or critical. Start with easy or medium level challenge questions. So that will help you in your interviews. Definitely it will be helpful. If you are taking very complex, right, you will give up easily. So that's what I did. So okay, let me start with something complex so that it will be helpful to clear some interview. But I couldn't complete the challenge. Then I started with very easy. Then it motivates you. Say instead of focusing on one complex, you can easily complete 10 easy complexity challenges by the time. So this will help you in motivation, and also you will learn a lot of things. Even very small challenge, if you go through the comments, right, for each challenge there will be a lot of different kind of answers, and different algorithms they will suggest in the comment section from the community. So you will learn more. So this will help you in the pair programming and the coding questions interview rounds. Okay, so that's what I did for almost 6 months. And also I got one book from Amazon. So the book name is Cracking the Coding Interview. So if you are just invest in this book, that's what I will say. So Cracking the Coding Interview, this is the title. So it has 189 programming questions. So not just programming questions, it will help you in how to approach the interviews in the top tech companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, right? So this book will very helpful in interview preparation. So you can easily crack the rounds. Okay, and there are a lot of YouTube videos are there. You can just Google. You will get a lot of inputs from other experts as well. So this is what I was doing parallelly. So I apply in the morning, and in the evening after my work is done, then I just spend 30 minutes to 1 hour. So initially it will be you have to struggle for the couple of days, but after a week or so you'll be fully motivated. Then you will have a confidence in facing the coding interviews. So the very first interview I was very scared, because we do not know what kind of questions they will ask, and what kind of recruiter will be there at the other end. So you don't gel with the recruiter in the pair programming. But once you start doing this kind of challenges, right, it will be very easy. And how to approach, so you will get a lot of feedback from yourself. So how to approach this kind of questions, how to write comment, how to name a variable, how to implement a simple logic, what is order of complexity. So you will learn a lot of things. So this will help you in answering the coding interviews. So believe me or not, the 80% of the questions only from the programming languages. Only 20% they asked from the tool perspective. Tool means I'm talking about JMeter or other tools, other open source tools. But remaining 80% only based on the programming coding skills. Only 20% comes from the performance engineering aspects. So that was surprising to me as well. So why they are not asking engineering questions? Why they are asking the coding questions? So all the 4 rounds were like this only. Okay. So any questions, guys, till now? Please raise your hand. Okay. Let me admit a few folks. Hi, Davya, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Naveen. So, regarding those coding interviews, right, which you said, I mean, what is the? I would just want to know what is the process. Like, we have to share screen and write code, or like they will give us an assignment and we have to submit that within some duration of time.
Yes, I will tell you next one. Yeah, it's a blend of both. Whatever you told, it's a blend. Yeah, I will explain in detail. Okay, hi Pawan, thanks for joining.
Hey, hi Naveen. First of all, congrats, for your the
Thank you.
offer that you got in Salesforce. I did congratulate you on LinkedIn as well.
Yes, thank you, Pawan.
So,
Yes, go ahead.
so I've been in this room just for about 3 minutes or so. So the process that you mentioned, was it for Salesforce or was it for Amazon? Because it says title says AMA.
No, AMA
So
means ask me anything.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean. And this is for performance engineering role, correct?
correct. That's correct. Yes.
And you were asked all about programming languages, irrespective of the tools or platform.
Almost, yeah, 80% I can say. Mostly non-related to performance. 80% of the questions.
Okay. Okay, because Salesforce does have a lot of openings on performance engineering. That's what I saw in LinkedIn also.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know what was the criteria there. But anyway, so thanks for your insight.
Yes.
And then okay, anyway, so this room is exclusively for preparation, so I don't want to ask any other questions. So
Sure.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now let me walk you through the process. Okay, so the first round was they shared 2 questions with me. Okay, 2 questions, 3 hours. So they will send you the link, unique link to you. You can start answering the questions any time, but within 7 days from the date they sent. And within 7 days you need to submit your answer actually. So 2 questions, 3 hours. So you can choose any language based on your choice. So I think they send me HackerRank the URL, and if you just click on it, it will display the question. 2 questions it will display immediately. You can just navigate between the 2 questions any point of time, and you can choose any language of your choice. So they have like 20 plus languages. It will be listed, and you in the left side you will get the question, and the right side you will get the console, and you can write it, and then you can compile, and then you can run your code. Okay, so this is the UI how it looks, and the question. I mean, it's not like you read the question you immediately start. No, it will not work like that. The question to read and understand itself, it will take 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, of each question, and so I divided my time into 1.5 hours for one question each, and after I read and understand, then I started writing the some small algorithms in the right side. So nothing with any coding and all, just a simple process what I'm going to do in the comments. So whenever you start writing and then you can run it, so what it will do is in the back end they will have some 10 to 20 unit test cases. You cannot see the test cases. Okay, it is not visible, it will be there. So whenever you submit your, whenever you run your solution, it will run against those unit test cases. And for each unit test case, it will give you whether it is pass or fail. Okay, so whenever you submit, you can watch the progress and try to match with most of the unit test cases. So it is not like you have to pass against each unit test case. If you are submitting the solution for all the unit test cases, then it's well and good. But seriously, I never got the time to submit for all the unit test cases. So one question has 10 unit test cases and another question has 20 unit test cases. So it depends on the question you will get and depends on how the complex challenge, right? How many unit test cases they have. So you will not know before. So it depends. So I never cleared all the unit test cases because the time will fly like anything. Once you started writing your program and repeatedly compile and execute, right? So time will fly. So anyway, at the end of the third hour, I just submitted my solution and I never felt any confidence basically after submitting. So I was able to, I think some 10 to 15 unit test cases I was able to clear successfully overall, and not more than that. So this is the first round, and I think after you submit, it will take couple of days to get the results from the recruiter basically. So because it is not automated, so it is manually they just verify. So what they do is they will verify your the style of writing basically, and how you approach the solution, and how many unit test cases you pass, and how you name a variable, commenting, and the structure. So everything they will validate, and then based on the score they get, they will take you to the next round. So this is the very first round. I got it. Same case with Amazon. So Amazon also has a similar process for some roles, I guess. So in Amazon also I got similar approach. So Amazon, they send me some 3 to 4 questions, again 2 to 3 hours duration, and language of your choice, and you can just submit. And Amazon sometimes they will expect you to write some theoretical question will be there, and how you approach. So you have to write an exam, right? So some of the questions I got like that. So this is the first round where they filter your skill sets. So this is, I think this is just for filtering out the candidates. So this is the very first round. So any questions, guys, in this? Okay. So that is why I recommended to start practicing daily 30 to 40, 30 minutes to 1 hour with the HackerRank or LeetCode or any other website where you see the challenge, and get that book and practice on your own in the notebook. So this will help you in submitting the solutions pretty quickly, and you will get to know a lot of things when you started doing this exercise on your own. Okay. And after a few days, 2 to 3 days, I got a email stating so I will have some 4 rounds of interview. So these are the dates and time, and I usually Salesforce uses Google ecosystem, so it will be in Google Meet. So I got the link and then I joined for the first interview. So first interview for first 15 to 20 minutes, so mostly related to the architecture. Okay, they gave some architecture diagram, and they want me to go through each component, and then how to optimize this architecture, scalability, performance, security, and then resiliency. So those aspects, all the architecture pillars, right? So those aspects, they were asking a lot of questions on the architecture. So it's just a random architecture, nothing to do with any product and all. It's a random architecture. They just evaluated me on the skills I got it. So basically, if you clear AWS certification or Azure or any cloud-based certifications, you will get this knowledge. The pillars, right? Architecture pillars: performance, scalability, reliability, resiliency, failover, and then VPC. So those concepts, right? Those are typical questions about the architecture. And after second half, I was getting a few questions. So they share the link again, HackerRank link. So the recruiter also can see your IDE. It's not a screen sharing session, basically the session sharing. So whenever you type something, they can also see, and whenever they type something in the IDE, you can also see. So it's like a collaborative tool. So there again you will get IDE for multiple languages. So whichever language you are comfortable, you can choose, and recruiter will give you a question, and then based on the question you can start writing in the IDE, and then you can interact with the recruiter. So it's like a pair programming, and based on your challenge you have to submit the solution, and you have to walk through, okay, this line, this is what this line is doing, and this is the algorithm I'm following to solve the challenge. So you have to just interact and submit the solution. So this is what the first round, I think 30 to 40 minutes first round is completed. And second round, it was immediately, actually they block 3 to 4 hours in your day, and second round will start immediately. So you have to stay in same meeting, and recruiter will join the meeting, and then they will leave the meeting, the technical recruiters. And then one person came again. So for second round I got some performance questions. So they showed me some graphs, and from the graph tell me a story. So they just plotted multiple graphs, like hits per second versus time, response time versus time, throughput, past transactions, failed transactions, and some table. So basically it's a JMeter graph, because I can see from the UI it's a JMeter graph, and they were asking a lot of questions about the performance. Okay, what is your story from these graphs? Where is the bottleneck, and in which tier the bottleneck might be. So everything mostly related to the performance, but not to the tool. No questions from the tool perspective. No questions about, okay, how do you add some HTTP sampler, or where to compile JSR 223. So no questions about any performance testing tool. Only performance concepts, performance engineering concepts. So that's what I always tell people. Okay, don't learn the tool. Any tool you can learn in one day or 1 week. Within 1 week you can learn a new tool, but learning concepts is a iterative process. It's a journey. So you have to keep learning the performance testing process. It keeps changing, it evolves. So that's why I always tell people, do not learn the tool, learn the concept. Again, do not learn a language, learn the semantics and mechanics of the language. So if you ask any code developer, they always tell, do not learn any syntax. That will not help you. You have to learn how the semantics works, how the mechanics of the language. So you have to learn that. The same holds for performance testing as well. Do not learn any tool. So whenever some new tool comes, you can easily learn the tool within 1 week. So Neoload was new to me around 5 years ago, but within 1 week I was able to learn the tool. So don't concentrate on any tool unless the position you are applying looking only for the tool knowledge, right? So only if the load runner knowledge is there, then you have to learn C or JavaScript. Then load runner concepts you can just grasp it quickly. Okay, so the second round again 30 to 40 minutes, and questions mainly from apart from the performance testing and engineering, questions from the Linux commands, and again coding questions in Python. So I also chose Python. Again the recruiter also was comfortable in Python, So the question is like in a string, how do you in an expression, basically the string is an expression, so you need to match the parentheses, you need to match the curly braces, and there are some rules, so these characters are not allowed. So how do you propose a solution to validate the string? So one question is like that, and a lot of questions on the Linux commands. So learn Linux. So if you are not into Linux, again it's a time to start learning. Mostly, yeah, 10 to 20, 15 commands related to Linux. I got some questions. So that was helpful. And regular expression, very few questions on regular expression, just to see whether you know something in regex. It's not very complex regex and all. It's very simple regex. So I got a few questions here and there about those. Okay. So this is what happened in third round. Again, in all the rounds, coding questions were there. Okay. So fourth round, it was mainly about Docker, Kubernetes, and Python again. So Docker again, how do you again very simple questions about Docker. If you know Docker, again you can easily answer these questions like containers, networking, security aspects, and then Kubernetes, difference between Docker Swarm and Kubernetes. So those questions for first 15 to 20 minutes. And again, second half, again, I got a challenge in Python. Again, I was able to answer the Python questions. And yeah, that's it. So these are the first 4 rounds. So after that, I got the interview with the engineering manager. So engineering manager is not more technical. There were some technical questions, but yeah, you can easily answer. It's not very complex in nature. And they'll ask about your previous experience from your resume, and again your location, salary expectation, and so on. They don't discuss in these rounds. So salary and all, they will you have to discuss with the recruiter, not with the manager basically. Okay. And then so yeah, when you can start from start joining, so those things, and if you have any H1B stuffs related. So just a general discussion, nothing technical in the last round. And then after these rounds, I mean, I was not fully confident at the time, but I think next day, yeah, recruiter called me, and then she told it's positive, and we are going with the releasing the offer letter. So at that time, you can start discussing your expectation, like the perks, allowance. So those things you can start discussing in the last stage. So any questions, guys? So I applied directly in Salesforce website, but nowadays, if you are using LinkedIn, you can see a lot of positions are open across Salesforce. So yeah, if you have, if you're looking for a job, yeah, you can share your resume. Probably I can forward it to my recruiter. So any questions, I'll be happy to answer. So Sai, do you have any questions? So mainly 30 to 60 minutes, that is good to start. I know it is tough, but yeah, if you want to get into some top tech companies, yeah, this is the way. We have to learn some programming language, any Python or anything with respect to your job. If you are working in load runner, learn C. If you're working in neoload, learn JavaScript. If you're in JMeter, learn Groovy. So focus on one language and start doing challenges on those language. And learn Linux, learn Docker, learn Kubernetes, learn all the cloud principles, and then at least get architect level solution architect level certification from any one of the cloud, like AWS or Azure, doesn't matter, any one cloud, and keep learning the latest trends. So that will help you in all the aspects. You may not know, sometimes it will help you in your interview as well. And usually what I do, I always read the case studies. So whenever some new products comes into market, or any product I come across, I usually go to the company website and then I read the case studies. It will be like a marketing pitch, but it doesn't matter. From whatever the technical aspects you are gathering, it will be very helpful for you. You may not know today, it will not be helpful, but someday tomorrow, someday in interview it will be very helpful. So I have come across multiple situations like that. So someday definitely it will be helpful. And again, you need some luck should be there. So I have seen people, right? 90% is hard work, and 99% is hard work, 1% luck should be there. So I have seen people just like that, they just they will get a job. They will not be excel in the domain or the technical aspects, but they will get the job. And also I have seen people who are experts in their field, but some of the skills might lack, like articulation skill, or they might not know how to present themselves. So including me, so I am not great in talking. Okay, I cannot articulate things sometimes. I know the technical aspects, but I may not know how to put things there. Like if you are talking to a CTO or somebody higher, then I may stutter. So I have seen people both the ends. So even everybody will see, right, from your company, from friends, colleagues. So yeah, 1% luck always should be there. So any questions, guys? Okay, so if nobody has any questions, yes, thank you for joining, and please let me know if you have any questions in LinkedIn. So the book name is Cracking the Coding Interview by Gail. So that has 189 programming questions. That book is very helpful. So it is an investment, even if it is expensive. Please get it somehow. It will be very useful for all kinds of top tech company interviews. Okay. And
Naveen,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. I
yes,
was speaking on the mute.
yes,
So
I.
recently, I faced one challenge while giving the interview. They asked me to share the screen, and they shared one the JSON like the payload. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
there they asked me to write the regular expression, particularly one field. So for the writing using the regular expression. So usually we are practicing, right, like with the little simple examples for the regular expressions. So like what's the best practice, like if we need to I want to be in the like not that much should be the master into the regular expressions. So like what's your suggestions on that, like?
Yes, thank you, Sai. So for regex, right, uh, I'm not an expert in regex, but I can manage somehow to write some decent regex. Okay, so I have put some mini course in my website, in my YouTube channel. You can check it out. It will teaches you the basics about regex 101. I use a website called regex101.com. Okay, I think you will also will be using that. So regex 101 is the single point of place where you will learn and try your own regex with multiple flavors. So since you mentioned the JSON, right? So JSON, if you want to extract something, you can use JSON path, not the regex. Okay. So regex is for your string, actually, for the text actually. If you want to do something with JSON, you need to use JSON path or James path. So there are multiple flavors to extract the contents from the JSON. Again, if you are into Python, you can use any Python library or Python syntaxes. But if you're using JMeter or any other performance testing tool, always go with the JSON path. So even if the recruiter is telling something write regex for JSON, then you can give some insights from your side and stating, okay, using JSON path you can extract it easily. Also the performance wise also it will be good for the long expressions. And compared to JSON path, James path even performance efficient. Okay, so you can give your insights, then you can try to attempt writing the regex. So the regex needs some practice again. So for example, you can extract email IDs from a string or date of birth or Aadhaar card number. So something like that, you just create your own questions and try to write the regex and keep practicing. But make sure you learn the basics. Okay, how to extract a number, how to extract alphabet characters or special characters, end of the string, starting the string, words, a sentence, paragraph. So if you know these basics, you can easily answer any pattern. So that's what I did when I started learning the regex.
Yeah, sure, Navin. I'll go through the playlist also. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
the suggestion. Thanks.
So yeah, practicing. So take some random text file from the internet and do that, or you can take the dictionary. So take a dictionary. In Linux, you will get the dictionary, or Windows also you will get the dictionary, right? Dictionary text. So play with that dictionary. You will get a lot of good combinations when you start writing the regex. And try to extract IP address. Try to extract the URLs, domain names. So just keep practicing. You'll get a lot of ideas. Yeah, we have Sid joined. Hi Sid, thanks for joining. You are on mute, I guess, Sid.
Thanks, Navin. Yeah, I was speaking on mute. Hi, Navin. Hi, everyone. And congratulations on your clearing the Salesforce thing, Navin.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Sid.
yeah, thanks for sharing, everyone. So my little review is like I don't make it look like a real
Sid, your voice is breaking.
like.
Hello? I think he left. Okay, so before that, I forgot to share one experience happened in the interview. Sid, let me share the story and then we can come back to your question. Okay. So in third round, I guess third or fourth round, so what happened? So when so actually the recruiter gave me a question. I think some Python question, some challenge. And whenever I started writing in the screen where they can see, right? So the person was asking some irrelevant question basically, not irrelevant actually. They were asking about the where you live, and I answered, I responded, and then I resumed my work in the screen, and then again I got another question. Okay, what is your previous role? And again I started resuming my work, and then again he was asking more questions basically. Then I realized, okay, might be they might be testing about the multitasking or how I respond if I interrupt in the work. So some kind of behavioral question actually, behavioral observation. So that's what I felt, but I was able to manage by responding and also by doing something on the screen. So sometimes you will get this kind of behavioral question. In-person interview, they can easily study you, right? But since it's a virtual interview, yeah, the questions might be like this. The pattern should be like multitasking or how you respond if in mid of work. So those things also you can practice. So it was a spontaneous, but somehow I was able to figure it out, and then I was able to manage it. So yeah, this kind of experience also you will get it in the interviews. So just want to share this. Yeah. Hi Sid. Yeah, please.
Hey, is it clear now, Navin?
Yes, yes.
And first of all, congratulations to you, Navin, and
Thank you, Sid.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all folks who are joined. It's really great. Nobody does. They share their experience, especially mentioning the client name itself, and that should we should really appreciate.
No more client, no more client related stuff for me
Yes,
now.
yes, yeah, yeah. Now you're free,
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, and appreciated for that. And maybe the question last thing when what you're talking, they might have evaluating whether the person who is attending the interview is the proper one or not. Sometimes,
correct,
right?
correct, yes,
Fake ones. So they
correct,
want to check you whether you only doing or somebody else is helping you to do the coding, especially.
correct.
That is the one thing. And one more thing I thought of giving you a suggestion. Like you are a good mentor, you could why don't you start a book or any blog for preparing and like interview preparation. That is the main thing, right? Whether you have the stuff or not, the clearing some like you said, people some lot of people may have the stuff, but they couldn't should prove themselves in the interview. So why don't you make such a book or some
No, yeah, I have more
video?
failures than success, so I don't know. I'm the right person for
Then you're
that.
the right person. If you have more failures, you're the right person. uh, tell them, and that's an input only, though. And so yeah, you might have know, right? I already in 2018 I attended the same Salesforce and I clear. At the time, for me, they have asked like DB level as well. I think I don't know which they missed for you. They asked, they given like complex tables and filter group
Okay,
by filters. They were expecting that kind of stuff. At the time, they did on Google Docs.
got it. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
database. It was not here and there, not deep dived. Yeah, I didn't get any kind of database query in my interviews.
okay. That was the last one for me.
Okay, got it, got it.
And for link. I mean, like Linux, I have faced a weird question. I thought of sharing here now. They asked me what is a zombie process. What?
Correct, correct, got
And
it.
we might have we might have seen that top command and VM strat. I was sad, but we never observed that, right? So it's very and the Linux is very tiny and I couldn't. I really said no. I don't know. The later I came to know that I did the study that like it's a process which has already killed but still alive.
Cool. Yeah,
So
thank
that
you,
kind
Sid,
of
for sharing this. Yeah, yeah, Linux
yeah.
is must actually. Yeah, I always tell people learn at least Linux at 100 commands.
So what kind of questions you like face like different? Nobody can expect this question in Linux. Could be
Linux,
helpful
I
for.
was getting some kind of challenge actually. How do you like deploying HTTPD and
Oh,
service
hmm,
and the networking, right? DNS, network configuration,
yeah.
those things, and
Telnet.
then
Most they might have
yeah.
asked Telnet how do you check the port available or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't
I
do, I
remember that.
used Telnet. Yeah, networking questions, and then top command, htop I used, and then
Yeah,
how do you go to the previous command in the shortcut? So those things, Linux, I think 10 to 15 commands.
yeah.
I forgot all the commands, what question they asked, but yeah, networking was there, networking definitely. And then rules, right? Rules, how do you see the rules, troubleshoot the rules, those things.
Mm. And programming wise, what are the apart from the book? What are the things you prepared like code Java stuff or any any DS level or how
No,
was
no,
your preparation?
no. I focused only on one language. Yeah, focus on only one language. That's what I would say. So even initially, the recruiter asked me to do in Java. Then
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned, okay, I'm not comfortable in Java. Let me. Is it okay if I choose Python? Then yeah, recruiter was okay. Then I practiced in Python for past 6 to 8 months. I was practicing Python only, and I used only the Python official documentation and some YouTube videos. That's it. Nothing else. No course. I didn't buy anything. Only thing I bought is the book.
And the programming stuff when you coming to performance testings, most of the times it must be related with generally. So we know, right? It could be related to the file operations, string manipulations, Nothing much, right? So
Yes,
what do
string
you think
operations was
about?
there. Mostly
Yeah,
string operations.
yeah. How about the OOPS concept? Did they cover OOPS concepts or
No,
any
no,
data structure level?
no, nothing on OOPS. Mainly, might be in the first round, I would have used the object concepts, the first two questions. But in the interview, I never used any concept like inheritance, that though nothing I have used in Python.
And I thought I think you forgot to mention. So people may think that when when they give the coding challenge, it's not necessary to show them output. At least if you could show them the algorithm, they will satisfy.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
point of time.
walkthrough of your code is important.
Yeah.
And then the commenting, make sure you write comments and then appropriately naming variables. Don't put I equals 10. It doesn't make any sense, right? So
Yeah.
if it is a example on say students or marks, then you have to say student underscore name equals or student underscore marks. So something meaningful. Do not use A, I, J, K and all. No, that will not helpful in the interviews. You can do it in your project work, but in interviews, yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah. Thanks for that tip. That kind of tips we are expecting from
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
Navin.
yeah. On
And
the order of complexity, that is important. So order of complexity, yes. Some recruiter they will see, okay, how fast your code is, right? And then they'll sometimes they'll ask you, do not use the built-in functions, right? So instead of finding length, they will ask you to find the length yourself. Write a function for the length. Do not use len or a string reverse. Do not use a reverse function. Implement your own reverse function. So some of the recruiter might pose questions like this when you start using some shortcuts.
yes, they want to learn, know you can implement that logic through your, that
Correct.
functionality through your logic. That's it.
Correct. Yes.
Like take a two variables and use them or just add them and copy into another. Just that kind of logic, I guess. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. No recruiter expects 100% solution unless they are looking for a very expert level core developer. But at least 80 to 80% you have to reach there. Then they will get a, if they get a satisfactory response, then yeah, they'll go with the next question. Otherwise, they will just stick to the question and then they will try to improve you further. I mean, they don't just bash you in the interview. They will try to help you. You can ask questions. If you do not, if you stuck, they will help you out. They will jump you and they will help you. Okay, do this or do that. They will give you their inputs. So you have to listen to the inputs and try to enhance it further. That's what I felt in my interviews.
Yeah. Same Salesforce interview. I faced weird question. One of the development team guy, he was asking, have you done the code profiling? So so I said I know I have done, but I simply directly asked the question, have you ever done as a performance engineer as code profiling? So he said no. Everybody laughing at him. So some people may ask some weird questions, but no, don't care about that.
Yes.
Just say no if you don't. That's
Correct.
it.
Yes. Yeah. Be honest as yeah, 100% honest as possible.
Yeah, if you try to be manipulate that, you will be in soup. You will be in trouble.
Yes,
There is
do
a
not
chance of
oversell.
losing interview.
That's what
Yeah,
I tell. Do not oversell. You okay? I did done this. I have done that. Then, yeah, it'll be in
yeah.
trouble for you only.
And they will appreciate actually. If you say no to some questions, they will know is at least it will prove that the guy is honest.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Navin. That really helped. And,
Yeah. Thank you, Sid. Thank you for joining. Thank you everyone for joining this meeting. I hope it is very useful. Yeah. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you. So even when I was started searching job, I guess no one was there to help me. Believe me or not, whenever I ping someone who works in the top company, they don't even respond. That is fine, but sometimes you will get the response negatively. So that so do not get demotivated by the response and all. I experienced it personally. So yeah, try to make use of myself in LinkedIn. Just ping me in LinkedIn. I am very happy to help you because I want people to. I want help. I like people helping. So mainly for tech companies, people like us, they always 90% of the people, right? We don't make it. That's the reality because we are not a 100% development background. So get into that practicing 30 minutes to 1 hour. Definitely you will be able to face the interviews without any fear in future. That's it. Yeah, have a good day and thanks for joining.
If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.